Yay! Hello, drumstickers! Welcome again here. You know where, eh? This is Drumsticks Sunday channel. I am, as always, Alberto Iglesias, and here we are to talk about a different pair of drumsticks every week. Cool. I have one thing to say before starting. Is this thing? Okay. I don't know if you are going to be able to to see that from the video, but this is the Tan Drum Fest. It's the countdown. It's already on. Okay, it's November the 4th in Sevilla, Spain. And I know that if you are watching this in English, it's because you are from Spain probably, and it's kind of more difficult for you to come. But if you ever have a chance to come here, I can assure you are not going to be disappointed. It's an awesome festival, really well. Structured and well created, and the production is amazing, and the people from Tantan always are making an amazing job with this festival. And in fact, I think it's one of the most famous festivals now in the world, for sure. Drums festival, of course. Cool. So please save my ticket, okay? Don't buy my ticket. Just let me one for me. And if you are there, and if you, for whatever reason, you are crazy enough to see this channel and you are there, come say hi, okay? It's gonna be awesome. Cool. So let's start talking about drumsticks. This week we have another request. In this case, it's from our friend Diego Stein that asked about this model from Vater, which is the New Orleans Jazz model. Okay. Cool. So, as always, let's start with the picture. Here you have the Vater New Orleans Jazz. Great. So, okay, first of all, I have kind of a parenthesis before starting. It's about something that has happened to me in one of the comments when I was answering one of the comments in the I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. One of you, I think it was on the My Porno model. Well, when I was explaining the model in the video, I was saying a lot of times that that model is thinner than a 7A. So one of you, sorry I don't remember now the name, I still have checked that out before starting, but anyway, you know who you are. And I mentioned that he told me that, okay, you keep saying I love this model, well, it's the one I use and all that. And he says, okay, but you keep saying that it's thinner than a 7A, and that's not true. In fact, it's thicker than a 7A. Okay, so I started researching that. So what happens? It makes total sense. Well, you know, when I talk about the sizes and the length and all that, I usually take Bigfoot as a reference. It's not by any means that I have any affiliation with Bigfoot, you know that, but it's just because Bigfoot is, we have to accept that it's the most known company, drumsticks company. So it's kind of the idea is that I take that measures and the sizes as a reference, so you can have an idea, you can compare in your mind or compare with your drumsticks or whatever. What happens is we don't have standard references. We have some guides, something that say, okay, the standard size, the standard length is 16 inches, but it's not something that is written in, or you have to, if you don't do that, this is not viable. Each company then make their own adaptations and take their own decisions because they think, okay, maybe I prefer this to make this a little bit thinner or thicker or whatever. Well, when I check that out, the thing is that with, for example, in 7A with Bigfoot, we have 0.540 inches. In ProMark, they have 0.512. It's a lot of difference. But it's not wrong. It's just they make that decision. So Promer decided, okay, my 7A model is going to be this thickness, right? So if you find out, if you watch me or hear me say in some video that, okay, this is bigger, or I usually use Bigfoot just because of that, just to give you a reference. It doesn't really matter, it's just that you can compare, but you have to know that different companies have slight variations. I mentioned this, I know, a lot of times in the past, but it's really important, and I think it's great because you have, sometimes you can't even think, okay, when I think about 5A, for example, I have different 5As if I change the company, if I change, you have more options, more fun. Cool. So let's go back to the New Orleans model. Let's say first about the sizes and all that. We have, you can go, as I always say, you can go to the company webpage. They give that information, and we have 16 inches length. Okay. About the thickness, we have the grip is 0.555. Cool. And we have hickory. We have well, an acorn tip, kind of traditional tip, and we have the taper. I would say for me it's medium, but maybe a little bit more than medium. Okay, medium to long, but let's say medium. Okay, I think they say medium there, or they don't even mention that. No, they don't mention that, but for me it's kind of medium. What else? Nothing else, just the regular finish from Vater, and that's all. Okay, if I try to recap what I think about this drumstick, I would say it's the brother or the sister of the 85A from Bigfoot. It's kind of the same vibe, the same idea, which is, it's slightly, I mean, they maintain the 16 inches, but they make it a little bit slighter, thinner than a regular 5A. Okay, in this case, in the case of the 85A, I think they have 0.550, and here we have 555. It's just a little bit more, but it's kind of the same vibe. When you hold this drumstick in your hand, you can feel that it's like, it's not a 5A, but you are really, really close to that. Okay. So these drumsticks are kind of in the middle between the 7A and the 5A thing. I will compare that like the same situation that you have when we think about between 5A and 5B, that most companies have a model that is in the middle. Vincent, for example, like a 55F. I don't remember now the name I think it's 55, in fact, in Bigfoot too, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, it's just in the middle, because there's some people that say, no, but 5A is too little, but 5B is too much for me, and so they have that option in the middle. This case, for me, is kind of the same vibe, or the same idea, when you have, okay, 5A is too much for me, but 7A is maybe it's too short, and maybe the thickness, I don't like, it's too thin, blah, blah, blah. So you have this, you have kind of both sides. You have the jazzy thing, but you also can groove with this, and it's really, really comfortable to play. So that's a general idea of these drumsticks. They are, as in the case of the 85, for me, I think if you play with 5A regularly, then you're gonna feel comfortable with this. It's really easy to get used to them. They are, of course, you notice that you miss a little bit of that punch, of that volume when you are grooving with them. But on the other hand, you can also play more jazzy stuff with that vibe, with less. I'm saying vibe a lot today. I don't know why, but you get that feeling of more jazzy playing. Okay, so I honestly prefer this model to play jazz than the regular 7A. I feel more comfortable with this. I told you that when I check the 85. I think they because I don't know exactly. I have no idea why they call it New Orleans, but in my mind, it's like the idea when you watch that New Orleans bands with a lot of, you know, people playing and a lot of people dancing, a lot of sound, volume, all the stuff. Sometimes I think you're gonna need a little bit more. It's still jazz, but you need a little bit more volume, a little more of all that. So these drumsticks are gonna give you that. They're gonna give you that extra that you are looking for. On the other hand, if you are grooving and you like that you don't play heavy stuff, you like that, you know, that groovy feeling, but without a lot of volume. They are gonna work great too. So, just to say, in my personal experience, in my case, I think they work better as an increased or as a 7/8 with asteroids, basically like that, than as a reduced 5/8. I mean, if I want to play that, if I want to play groove, I will go with the 5/8. But if I want to play jazzy, but not, I think I will get these or 85s or whatever. But instead of the 7/8, I think they work better for me. I'm not going to repeat. You know, my problem with the Vater finish is just a personal problem, of course. Not a problem. In fact, I can play with this for sure. In fact, I'm going to play with this today. But it's just that it doesn't fit as good as with Vincent, for example, or other companies. But anyway, it may probably in your case is exactly the opposite. Maybe Vater is your favorite company because of that, because they give you a better grip than other companies. That's the, you know, we've mentioned this in the past a lot of times about the grip and all the physical aspects of that. Okay, and that's all I have for this. Really comfortable to play, good drumsticks. And Diego, I hope you like it, and I hope I can give you some, I don't know, something new that you don't know. But anyway, if you like the jazzy thing, but you don't want to go as, you know, you don't want to go to the 7/8, good option for you. Okay, good. You know, as always, 5 days in front of us. Okay, 5 days to practice and to keep trying and asking and doing that stuff. And don't forget that November the 4th, Drum Fest, Sevilla, I'm waiting for you there, okay? Goodbye.